This is the Best of the Week on Relevant Radio.
Our spiritual director for today, Father Michael Hurley. Father Michael is a Dominican priest ordained in 2007. Let's talk, Father, a little bit about something that I had heard of before I became Catholic, but I wasn't quite familiar with, and I've grown in my familiarity with it since becoming Catholic, but a state of grace. What does the Church mean by that? I've heard it many times, but how would the Church define that?
Yeah, in terms of state of grace, simply means that God's life is in you. It's there.
Okay.
So if you've got, so it just means being in the state of something, just, I'm in it's kind of a state of happiness, or just kind of like a state of, like, you could think just like in your terms of you're in the state of marriage, right? You kind of contracted that relationship both civilly but also relationally. And so to be in the state of grace simply means that God's life is within you, both justifying you, connecting you to God, but also hopefully habitually in terms of the sanctifying you and making God you holy. That is, making your actions be, if you will, instrumental in God's creative activity coming alive in the world. And then it also has the capacity, or implies the capacity, to bring the Holy Spirit alive through the different graces, the charisms, and the quote-unquote gifts, the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit that are often associated. When it comes to being in the state of grace, it's not as if you have, if you will, this huge reservoir of, of blessing that you're in control of, that you're doing. It's more like you're an open portal, or you're open, vessel, or they went to the artery, like you're a channel through whom God's, life can flow through you to others. So being in the state of grace means to have the capacity to be instrumental in bringing God's life. It's not as if God gives you blessings and then money or something, or cash, and then you kind of dole it out where you want, because then it's like, it's up to me who I give this or that to, who I grace with my presence. It's more like I'm an open channel. There's a reservoir, an infinite reservoir of God's blessing and capacity, and all I have to do is kind of like unlock the barrier, or like raise the door, open the door, like in Revelation, I stand at the door and knock. Open the door. That's what we all have to do. Open the door, and I'll come in and have dinner with you, right?
Yeah,
open the door. So being in the state of grace is having the capacity to open the door of our heart to both receive and to dine with the Lord and to invite others to dinner as well.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just the way that you were talking about that, about sharing out the grace of God. I'll tell you just a little anecdote from my own life that it used to be, I don't know if it still is or not, but it used to be, it was kind of a trend amongst NFL players. I noticed that they were getting this tattoo on their arm that said God's gift. We oftentimes use that disparagingly, right? And say, well, yeah, if, God's gift to the world, or God's gift to this business, or something like that. Because in one sense, no, it's not you in and of yourself. But once you open that door, as you were just saying, Father, to the working of grace in your own life, then you do become a gift that God has given to others.
It's true. It's the instrument itself finds its excellence in its activity. So in other words, if we're instrumental in God's grace, we ourselves are perfected to be who we're called to be, but it brings about the creative work of God, which is only can be attributed to him. So you go to the Mother Teresa, I'm just a little nub of a pencil, right? But the pencil itself does what it ought to be. It's enhanced, or it does what it's meant to be, but God's writing is what happens, so to speak, or there's no doubt he's the source of it.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. Father Michael Hurley has been our spiritual director today. Again, go back and listen to the show at relevantradio.com/innerlife.